Gavin House Instructor. That's me, that is. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. So there. Hello. Right, well, welcome. Due to popular demand, I have decided to make some videos of how to do some of the maneuvers. Obviously the start is probably going to be the same in all of them, but I'm going to try and splice them together and try to have some sort of level of continuity. So you might need to watch previous videos to work out how I did something on something else. Yeah, you'll get the idea. Today, before anybody asks, I have decided to bring my beautiful wife along with me, who is the designated driver today. So she's got a full license. So yes, we are out and about in a public car park, but we're going to be using somebody who's got a full license already, so I can nip in and out and do videos and things like this, and it's all nice and safe. All right, so I'll just nick her. There you go. Hello. Hello. There you go. There's my good lady wife. Lovely. All right. Okay, so here we are doing rearward. So what we're doing is we're going forward into a space through like that. So we've just gone through a space and we've on the back of, or coming out the other side of stuff. Okay, driven forward, dead easy. Right, now what we need to do is go forward until we're sort of 3/4 out of the space, stop, and then go full lock to the left or the right. So we're just going to go forward till we clear the space a bit and stop. Full lock left or right. Turn 90 degrees, please. You can keep it in drive. That's it. Good. And as soon as we get to 90 degrees, go slower, 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 slower. 90 degrees, stop. Okay. Right, now we have come out of this space here. So we are 1, 2 and 1/4. Oop, my fingers are there. After the space we want to park in. Okay, so we came out of that space there. So it's 1, 2 and 1/4 roughly after the space we want to park in. Right. So we are also, as you can see, on the right hand side of the road to park on the left. Again, make sure you go to the other side of the road. The wider you are, the easier it is to park. Right, so now let's say we're going to go and pick this second one. So we've got the trolley bay, then we've got an empty space, and then where we are going to park. So it's one after. What we need to do is now go 2 1/4 spaces after the one I want to park in. So I'll count you through. So just drive forward. So drive in a straight line. Lovely. Right, so that's the space we want. So that's 1, 2 and stop. So we're just a little bit far, so we just want to go back a little bit because we're about here-ish, and we want to go back to about there-ish, something like that, about there. Stop. Right, so that's what my particular car needs. Reverse. It is good. No, there we go. Good, lovely. See, even a full license holder still wobbles this thing backwards and forwards like mad. You're all learners, are all the same. Right, now full lock left, please. Good. Now we have to look around. We've got to make sure we're not killing anybody. Look, there she goes, looking around. Both blind spots. You never know. People might come up a bush. Lovely. It's all good. Right, now we're at full lock at the moment. So whiz it round 80, 90 degrees, and you should start to get a space appearing behind you. Right, now starting to look at this. Here it comes. Here we come. We're starting to get a space. I know I've just got a hand in the way. Right, now stop it there. Now on this side we have a space appearing. So what we're looking for is, as you go round, this little gap here, we want the similar space. So this gap here between the side of the car and the white line at the front is what we're looking for, similarly on the other side. So if we just keep going round until we pretty much get either parallel, as we are, there you go, good, that's all right. Now what we've got to do is drive our rear wheels to the front of the space, which at the moment they are, so that's nice. Now we drive into the space, and then you do the same thing for the back. So let's go straighten the wheel, drive back in a straight line until we've got the rear wheels in the space. Just hold it there. Good. So now, as we can see here, we do have the rear wheels in the space. Now what we're looking for is the same gap between the side of the car there and that little T-shape there, ideally on both sides, which actually I don't know, too bad actually. We could go with that. So now we'll just reverse it back in until we've got it all in the right space. There we go, and we'll stop there. Now we've just got to make sure, you could go to the back of the space if you wanted to, but all you need to do is make sure that your nose is this side of the front of the space over here. So this one, this bit, or this line here, as long as the front of our car is this side of the white line, you don't need to go all the way to the back of the space there. Easy. So there we go. That's how you do it. You go 2 1/4 after. In this car, it's 2 in my manual, and it was 1 3/4 in a Fiesta. So you just do that, rotate it, point it at the front of the space, then point at the back of the space. Easy life. Now, what you can do if you're a cunning fox is get the car in front of the space and then drive away. So let me explain to you. If you could just take that for me. Thank you. Right. I had a pen here a minute ago. There it is. Right. Okay. So here's your space. What we want to do is get the car in this area somewhere. You want to be plus or minus 10 degrees off straight. The straighter you are to the space, the less to the left and the right you will travel in the time it takes you to get rid of your angle. As an example of that, if I were to come in at a stupid angle like that, by the time I set in my steering, both of my wheels will be miles away. Can't have that. Got to be in here. So what we just did a minute ago is we had a space like that. I wanted to park in here, so I went on the wrong side of the road and I drove down until my head was 2 1/4 and my car turned, and then it was in front of the space and then I went in. So I got into this bit, but I was just here. So you can start out here and go in, or you could start here and do that or this or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just got to get your car out here somewhere and then point it at the space. Now, a way of thinking about it is if you had a train being parked in a shed at night time. So looking down from above onto the shed, you would have some railway tracks running down the middle of the shed, and they would go out. Now the train would come down the tracks and it'd be there. So if in theory you came along and you put your rear wheels on the tracks and then turned for the back, you would run straight down these tracks. We don't have tracks in the middle of a car park, but what we do have is those little mirrors over here that I had, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for that gap there and I drive my rear wheels to that point. Then I rotate it to the right and I look for the same gap here, and then I drive from there to there and there to there, and I will be down the middle. So you can have virtual tracks. Now do please bear in mind that there is no universal size of car parking space. All they do is they will look at a car park and they'll think, okay, I've got a flower bed here, I've got I don't know, the building here, and they think to themselves, do I want 12 large spaces or 13 small ones? Therefore, going 2¼ spaces in one car park might be the equivalent of 2 in another. You know, there's no guarantee on this, but what we are hoping for is that when you turn the car round, you're going to be very near to the front of the space. So that means you can then do this. So you can come round and turn, and you might be off, but if you then drive away from the space, you can then turn it towards and then in. So you just get it near, go away, come back in, and that's absolutely fine. So it's not guaranteed in every car park, but it will work in all, and that's what I'm hoping for, is that you then get to the point where you can have your comfort shunt and you can move it forward and then bring it back in. All right, so if you've watched the video about how to do a forward bay park, what you could do is you could get yourself one space before and drive away, because if I drive away from a space, this is my space here. We just did a forward bay park a while ago, so we went like that, but if I steer away from the space, it'll be behind me. Then I can just stick it into reverse and in I go. Very, very easy. All right, so you can either go beyond, turn towards it, or turn away, or a combination of the two. You could do sort of probably that, so we go away and then towards it like this, and we can park in. All right, so it's up to you, but that's it. That's how you do your bay parking. You can also be a cunning fox. Let's say that you are going to the cinema. You do not care which space you want to park in. So here's a load of spaces I prepared earlier. You drive round the car park and you just turn away. Now, if this is the left hand side of your car, as you can see when you look in this mirror here, you will start to see potentially spaces appearing behind you. So back down on here. So as I look down, that is pointing at that space, and that's there, and that's there. And so if you just went round in a circle, every single space would appear behind your car. Fine, as you go around the entire car park, excuse me. All you've got to do is turn the car until you are pretty straight on to a space. And you think, oh, well, look, I'm now within my plus or minus 10 degrees. So I now point at there, drive to the front, drive to the back, and I have parked the car. So you can do that completely randomly. You just turn away and pick one that is a good angle. Stick it in. Okay, so even on the driving test, when they say reverse into a space of your choice, you don't have to nominate which space. You just think that one over there. You could be really wishy-washy, go, I'll park in that one, and then they'll just go, okay, carry on. So if halfway through you think it's easier to park in the space next to the one you originally planned, do that. Doesn't matter. As long as you're looking around, you're not hitting things, you are laughing. All right, simple. Good. I think that's it. Thank you for watching.